Good morning, friends. Last lecture we have to discuss about the uses of high temperature. Last lecture we have to discuss about the discuss about the theory of high critical temperature superconductors and then the high temperature superconductor. Okay, in this lecture we have to discuss about the uses of high temperature superconductor. Uses of high temperature superconductor. Therefore, the first point, that is about the conventional superconductors are used to form the magnet. For example, it is used in NMR spectrometer. Okay, therefore the conventional superconductors are used to form the magnets. Means the conventional superconductor, it is used to form the magnet. Okay, therefore magnet is a form by these conventional superconductors. Magnet is a form by the conventional superconductors. For example, therefore these conventional superconductors are used in NMR spectrometer. Conventional superconductors are used in NMR spectrometer. Okay, this is the first uses of the high temperature of the superconductors. Then the second uses is about the superconducting quantum interference devices, that is known as SQUADs. Okay, superconducting quantum interference devices, that is SQUAD, which are loops of wire containing. Means this SQUAD are loops of wire containing. Means these superconducting quantum interference devices, that devices are the loops of wire containing Josephson junction, and it can measure very small voltages. Means this Josephson junction, it can very small voltages, and that the current and magnetic field, this is the second uses. Then the third uses is about the cuprate are the brittle. Cuprate are the brittle. Cuprate a superconductor we have to discuss above point. Okay, that the cuprates are the brittle ceramic material. Okay, this cuprate are the brittle ceramic material that are not easily formed into wires. Means this cuprate, it is are the brittle ceramic material. Okay, this cuprate are brittle ceramic material, and that material, it is a not formed into wires. Means that material, it is a not formed into wires. Means wires does not form the cuprate brittle ceramic material. Okay, and the superconductivity in this material is an isotropic. Okay, therefore in the superconductivity, therefore these ceramic materials are are the anisotropic material. In superconductivity, therefore the ceramic materials are the anisotropic material. Okay, therefore this is the third uses of the high temperature of the superconductivity. Then next uses is about the bismuth based cuprate. The bismuth based cuprate, where the chosen, you have to chosen the bismuth based cuprate, that is because they are more flexible than the high critical temperature superconductors. Means we have to bismuth based cuprate we have to choose and because they are more flexible. Means this bismuth based cuprate are more flexible than the high critical temperature superconductor due to weak bonding across the double bismuth oxygen layer that allow the layer to slips, that allow the layers are slip. Okay, therefore this is the bismuth base. Why the bismuth base cuprate are chosen? Because it is a more flexible than the high critical temperature superconductor due to the weak bond. Means the bismuth base cuprates, its bond is weak, and that weak bonds, it is across the double bismuth oxygen layer, and that allow the layer to slips. Means this bismuth oxygen layers, it is a allow the layer is slip, therefore it is a more flexible, and therefore you have to choose the bismuth based cuprate as a conductors. Okay, then the last uses is about the absence of electrical resistance. The absence of electrical resistance that could be extremely useful in distribution of electricity. Okay, the absence of electrical resistance that could be extremely useful in distribution of electricity. Means this electrical resistance that could be extremely useful in the distribution of electricity. Means electrical resistance, it could be extremely useful in distribution of electricity. Means this is a distribution of electricity, and that through the country, and that is the copper and the aluminum wires. It is used lose to 5% to 8%. Okay, the copper and the aluminum wire, it is used to lose the 5% to 8% of power due to resistance of this element. Which element? The which element that loses the power. Therefore it is a copper and aluminum wires that are used to lose the 5% to 8% of wire due to the resistance of these elements. Okay, या एलिमेंटच्या रेजिस्टन्स मधून आपल्याला 5 to 8% पॉवर काय होतो, लॉस होतो. ओके, दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द युजेस ऑफ high temperature superconductor. Okay, and therefore last point of this chapter, that is about the Josephson effect. Okay, therefore this Josephson, it is a predicted that two superconducting metals. Okay, this Josephson, it is a predicted that the two superconducting metals, and that metal, it is a placed next to each other. Okay, the Josephson, it is a predicted that if the two superconducting metals, okay, if the two superconducting metals and that metal, it is a place next to each other, means that superconducting metals, it is a place next to each other, and that they are separated only the thin insulating layer, means that they separating only in the thin insulating layer in the superconducting metals, and then the current would be flow in the absence of any applied voltage, and the current will be flow in the absence of any applied voltage, and therefore this is the Josephson prediction. Okay, second is barrier is not too thick. Okay, barrier is not too thick than the electron pairs, it can cross the junction from one superconductor to the other without dissociating. This is known as DC-Josephson effect. Okay, DC-Josephson defect definition is very important in your questions. That is about the barrier is not too thick. Okay, the barrier is not too thick the electron pairs, means barrier is not too thick the electron pairs, that electron pair can cross the junction, means these electron pairs can cross the junction from one superconductor to other without dissociating. This is known as DC-Josephson effect definition. Okay, and last point of this point, that is about the application of the small DC electrical potential to such junction would produce the small alternating current, the AC-Josephson effect. Okay, the above are you have to discuss the DC, and below are we have to discuss the AC. AC-Josephson effect is known as the application of the small DC electrical potential, to such junction, that junction would produce the small alternating current, it is producing the small alternating current, and therefore it is known as AC Josephson effect. And therefore this chapter is over. Therefore next time we have to discuss about the synthesis of solid. Okay, thank you.